welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are going to be setting up the rest of my budget sheets for August, as well as doing my budget by paycheck, the first paycheck we receive in August. So if you didn't watch my last budget video, I set up the month of August as best as I could. I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments, but I just kind of wanted to see what an overall budget would look like. And it also gives you the opportunity to see where you can save or kind of fix. And so this was just a rough, I'm taking August as like a rough draft, honestly. I haven't been so strict with my budget for a long time, and so it's gonna take some tweaking. Also, it's important to know that this is the 7x9 Erin Condren, and for me personally, I prefer the 8x11, which I ordered about 2 weeks ago. It's still printing on Erin Condren, which is kind of a bummer. It hasn't even shipped yet. So I'm waiting for that. I ordered it July 23rd, thinking I might have it by August, and it's still printing and processing, which, like I said, bummer. So I'm hoping it prints to like today or tomorrow, or, you know, ships, I mean, and maybe I'll get it next week. But I'm gonna use what I have. This is the first budget planner I bought, thinking that the 7x9 would be okay. And like I said, I just prefer to use a bigger one. So I will be transferring everything over when I get that new planner, and I will probably set it up with you guys so you can see how I do my notes pages and, you know, kind of how we track our debt. So anyways, let's continue on and get started. I'm going to set up August just so everything kind of matches. I'm going to do my paycheck budget here, which looks like this if you haven't seen it. I kind of just boxed everything out because I don't like lines, and as much or as little as I have to write or draw with my handwriting, the better for me. It just looks cleaner in my opinion because I just don't have great penmanship. And then on this side, I'm going to do the transaction log. Here, I'll do another budget by paycheck. And then here, I'm going to do the weekly check-in. Now, when I get my new monthly, there's more lined pages between each month, which is why I ordered a new one. There's 10, I believe, and right now there's 5. And 5 if you count the first before the month starts, that page. But I would love to have like my August overall. I would love to have like a one for my business expenses, a page for that. I would love to have 2 for my paycheck budgets. I would love to have 2 transaction logs, 1 for each paycheck, and then I will have the overall weekly check-in, as well as like closing out the month to see where we land. And so I want to track my debt, and I want to start tracking my sinking funds, all of those things. And with 4 pages, you have to pick and choose what you want, and I don't like to do that. And I also don't like adding it to the back in the notes pages back there. So I'm very excited they reformatted the monthly. That's just a lot of chatter you probably didn't need to hear. But anyways, that's where my head's at. We're gonna set it up, and then, yeah, let's just go ahead and set up my monthly first.
Drive. Do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile? Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along, and I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause
okay, so that is kind of set out. I'm gonna go ahead and put my paydays down at the bottom, I think, and then that'll give me room to write in what bills come out on what day. And I'll show you how I do that. I use the highlighter method, and I color code based off of my transactions. And so I will do like bills a certain color, gas a certain color, eating out, and food, you know what I mean. They're all highlighted with my mild liners, and they all have a different color code. So that's kind of how I do that. Paydays are down, and then I think that's all I need to lay down for the month. And we're going to set up my budget by paycheck next. Can't remember. These asterisks drive me crazy. I generally don't get colorful planners because there's so much to cover up if you're a sticker planner, which I am. And so, like the bottom of the monthlies, you have that strip, and there's just a lot of cover up to do, which I don't like. I'm going to zoom you out a tiny bit. Hopefully you can see that better. Okay, let's get both my sheets and see where I need to do this. I think I do my income first. I'm gonna get my, I don't remember where I put this. Hold on, let me grab my planner. Okay, that's not it. Anyways, so then I'm gonna do my charity and giving next to this right here. And I can't remember if, I might need to go over a little bit on the other one. Oh, that works. Like I said, I use the 8x11, but for filming purposes and while I'm waiting for my new planner, I'm just going to keep it in the 7x9 because that's what you guys can purchase right now. I will be putting up my 8x11 kit shortly. I just have to kind of work on the reformatting, and I want to wait till my thing comes. Let's see. I don't want to like move a ton of things if I don't have to, so I'm trying to space it perfectly. Okay, and then we have sinking funds. I'll put next. And then cash and envelopes. Go there. And then we're going to do extra savings, extra debt. Okay. And then I like to have my double check at the bottom to tell me that I've done it right. Basically, you need to double check that your income minus your expenses equals 0. That's just a reminder for me because sometimes I don't double check and later I'm like, whoa, these totals didn't add up. So I just like to put that in there for myself to remind myself. I'm going to lay this washi down and cut it a tiny bit. I just added some washi for people that do like to kind of separate separate some of this out. So I just added basic, like it's not sized to fit a specific block. It's just to give options. Come on, there we go. Okay, and then let's put one here. Probably could have been better with my lines. They look a little crooked. Not the lines on the paper, but like how I laid them down. But oh well. Okay. One more. I'm going to put I don't know where though. How about right here? So that just kind of dresses it up a little. Okay, so that's laid down. We'll come back and actually plan it. Actually, you know what I could do, because I have leftover washi from my monthly kit. Put my double check there and then lay my washi down here at the bottom too. Okay. Okay, so that's all laid out. And we're going to, while we're setting things up, do the transaction log over here. Okay, that looks good. And I'm hoping that I can use this whole sheet. And then, like I said, when my new planner comes, I'll transfer over and then be able to have 2 per paycheck. But for now, 1 is going to have to do. And then on this page, I'm going to do my weekly check-in and save this blank page I just did for my next bi-weekly. But I don't want to set up the whole month, like both budget by paychecks. I guess I could, but then it kind of takes some of the fun out of planning when it's time to budget. And that's like one thing I try to remember is budgeting can be stressful. And if you can make it fun at all, even with stickers, I mean, that sounds kind of trivial, but like that's what makes it fun for me to stay on track, is to have something pretty to plan it in. And so anyways, that's what I prefer. And I'm going to wait to finish this because I need to figure out how many categories, and I don't want to move it if I'm wrong. So I'm going to wait because I don't remember what I decided to track for cash. Honestly, I need to decide if I want to pull out physical cash anyway. That's hard for us because our paydays are so wonky. We get paid the 7th and the 10th. Like my husband's the 7th, I'm the 10th, and then the 22nd and the 25th. Like, I wish that I could just plan and get paid once a month, honestly. For budgeters, if we got paid on the 1st, it would just be amazing the whole month, but that's not the case. We're bi-weekly, and it's not even like the 1st and the 15th. They're very wonky. So it's hard to pull cash out because usually we're getting paid in like the week, the middle of the week or something. And now with COVID, I'm home. I work from home with my kids, and my bank isn't in my town. It's where I work in a completely different town. So I don't want to use the small bank in town because then I get like fees when I pull cash out. Anyways, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And I don't even know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you use cash. And then what's your system? Do you make a sinking fund and budget like the month before for all the cash that you're going to use the next month? Like, because that's a possibility, because some of my paychecks are lopsided where like the first paycheck of the month I have more money left over, or vice versa. And so I could totally put it in as an expense and say cash and then pull it out, and then I have it ready for the next paycheck so I'm ahead and I never have to scramble. That's a possibility. But anyways, it's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to try to find, I'm going to use this black G2 pen because I like how fine it is when I'm writing. I do have another one I prefer, but I can't find it. Oh, here it is. I also really love these Uniball. Maybe I'll use that. It's super fine and I love writing with it. Okay. I'm rambling a lot this video. I'm sorry. So we're going to go ahead and I don't know our income yet, but so I'm gonna start with this and then I'll come back and try to guesstimate. I mean, I have a budget and an actual for a reason, but let me noodle on that for a second. But the first thing that we pay for out of this paycheck, which I'm going to write up here, the paycheck is $87.20. Okay, so, well, let's just do it. We're gonna write, what did I decide to write? Main variable buffer, I think is what I wrote in my, yeah. So main would be our income from our jobs, our 8 to 5 jobs. Variable will be from our side hustles and anything that you're not, like that's not included in my 8 to 5 job. And then a buffer is what we keep in our checking account, and it's like the rollover when the paycheck starts. I count that as income, so when I do my budgeting and my tracking, I'm not off by whatever was left over. Even if it's like a couple bucks, I will put that there. Usually it's like 100 or 200 by the end of the paycheck because I try to do a zero-based budget. So come payday, I would prefer to have, you know, nothing in there, but I have been burned before without having a buffer by certain checks that come out the last day of the month. And sometimes they come out late and sometimes they come out early and then I'm not expecting it and we get burned by 24 hours. So I keep a buffer in there for that reason. So so this paycheck is 96 hours for my husband, which is generally more than he's like, you know, you don't get too many 96-hour paychecks. I am salary, so mine's always generally the same within a couple dollars, depending on some of my paychecks, like my health and stuff comes out of, and so it's higher at times. I'm going to cheat and look up. So I'm going to say that he's going to get $2,000 and I'm going to say mine's $2,000. So we're going to say main is $4,000. And I'm going to say our buffer will be 200. And our variable, which is what we put in for our side hustle. So my husband is a eBay reseller, so he goes and he does like, he goes garage selling and then resells on eBay. Sorry, I was trying to get that centered for you guys. So he transfers once a month, he'll transfer over what he can pay towards our variable because we're trying to pay off our debts and get our savings stocked up. And then I also will be putting my business income once I start paying myself a salary. And I don't know what that'll be yet. So I do know that he was able to transfer for the month of July, when he closed out July, which will come into August, $300. So I've put that into savings because he just transferred it, and I'm going to wait until we get paid and I can do the books. But he was able to transfer $300 last month after all of his eBay fees come out, and then he does sell some things for friends, so he like gives them half, like he works on a commission, and so he'll sell it for them, and then he gets like 20 to 30% of the profit. And so he had to figure all that out. Anyways, he got $300 in the month of July, which was awesome because he really stepped his game up only 2 weeks ago. And so I'm excited to see what he's going to make for the month of September, like what he'll sell in this month of August, and then we'll apply it towards September. Okay, so our bills is water, sewer, and we have the Suburban payment. We have the truck. We have, what does that mean? Oh, our auto insurance. We have HP Instant Ink, which is a business expense, but right now I'm paying out of pocket for all of my business stuff. I don't have I did start a new account that I'm transferring all of my income into, and I'm keeping that separate, but right now I haven't transferred over stuff like monthly dues. I pay for a converting website. I pay for HP Ink. I pay for a couple things that are monthly that are for my business, like the music for YouTube, things like that. I haven't transferred that over to that account yet because I need to figure out the whole taxes thing. And so I don't want to get burned and pay myself and put too much into that account coming out and not leave enough for taxes. I really need to figure that out. So we have daycare. Oh, we don't have daycare. Yes. So the month of August, our daycare is closed. Oh my gosh, that changes everything, you guys. This is not a thing this month. So I totally forgot. I mean, I don't know how I could forget. I have 4 kids at home every single day this month, but we don't pay this. So that's going to change all of that. But that's super exciting. Holy cow. We're going to be able to save a lot this month. Okay, so we don't have daycare. We have Hulu. We have Prime. We have our personal loan. We have power. And I don't have that anymore. I used to pay for Adobe, but I canceled it. Okay, cool. So that is what we have to come out of this paycheck. Now let's go ahead and start writing some amounts in. Now, I do prefer, like I said, to put exact amounts in. So I'm going to look those up really quick and I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry. The beauty of magic and editing though is I wasn't gone long at all. So I looked up my water and sewer bill, which was high. And I know it makes sense because it's summer and we have our sprinklers on and we let the kids play out in the little swimming pools a lot. But I don't even remember how much I budgeted for. Yeah, way over. I budgeted for $120, which is what we were paying pre-summer. And I think summer's finally starting to hit because we've been actually home playing in the water a lot more. $165.87. Ugh, just for water and sewer. What a pain in the butt. And then power I looked up and that was $119.53. Again, let's take a look at what I budgeted, $130. So that helps a little bit up and down. And then, so our Suburban is $525.35. I totally brain farted for a second. Our truck is $499.90. Our auto insurance has been $134-ish, I'm gonna say. Hopefully it's not too far off. $134. It's supposed to be fixed, but I feel like it goes up and down like just a few dollars. So anyways, I'm gonna say that's what it was last month. HP Ink, I pay $14.99. Hulu is $5.99. Prime is $12.99. And our personal loan is set for $50. Okay, and I'm also going to think, let me think, because I could put it in sinking, what we're saving for. I need to look at my sinking funds. Yeah, so that is it for expenses. And then we're going to do, I'm going to think about my sinking funds. I really need to reset up my sinking funds. This is what they were. And we've, you know, of course, passed the due dates of some, and we've paid those off. But we're still paying on some. So like Kenzie's birthday, we wanted to save $200 for her birthday. When I started January 1st, it was 17 payments. Anyways, that's how I did my sinking funds. But when COVID hit, we stopped. And I want to restart it. So I'm going to wait. And what I'm probably going to do is just put a couple $100 in there, and that will cover these payments. So I'll probably say 200 for sinking. And I'm just going to do overall. And this just means sinking fund payment, basically. Our charity and giving for this paycheck, I try to do 300 and, yeah, 300. Church. This obviously you don't have to do. We are Christian and we try to tithe as much as we can. We're not by any means the full 10%, which people try to do, but we try to do what we can. So $600 is our goal for tithing, and I split that up between the 2 payments. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to do our cash envelope categories. So this is groceries. This is gas for the cars. Eating out. Our allowance. And we do entertainment. That's things we do with the family. If we rent a movie on demand, any of that comes out of that. And then we do unbudgeted. And this is for basically the unexpected, which you will always have. And I plan for it. A lot of people do a 0 for unbudgeted. I actually put $100 in for unbudgeted. Sometimes more, depending on if like there's a birthday or anything like that will come out of this fund. So, okay, let's go ahead and start. Oh, I need to plug in my numbers. So groceries, we do 300. We do 600 a month for groceries, which is $100 per person a month. Groceries include my toiletries and household. I get questions about that. It's all together. $600 a month is what we budget for our family to eat and live in our home. Toiletries and everything is included in that. But I will say that part of my sinking fund that I'm going to start, not for this month because I need to redo my sinking funds and really put some thought into that, but I will be creating a Costco sinking fund because I'm finding that I don't plan for Costco. And then that month comes and I get all of our toiletries and I load up on things that last us a couple months. And I'm not taking account for it in my grocery bill, and then I'll be over. So I'm going to create a sinking fund for Costco. Okay, so gas is not going to be bad. We just don't go anywhere. So I'm going to say $200, and it'll probably be less than that. It might be right on the money this month because I am going up to Washington twice. So it might be, this might actually not be enough. We'll see. Eating out. We do date night once a week, which is about $20 after it's all said and done. And then we do pizza once a week with the kids, and that's like $25. So we're, let's say 50. And we do that times 2, that's 100. And then there's always once a week or so where we end up getting something. So I'm going to say 150. For eating out. Our allowance is $50 each, so that's 100. And that covers anytime I want to get coffee, anytime I want to buy things for myself, stickers from Planner Kate, any of that kind of stuff. is my $50. My husband uses his $50 for coffee, eating out like at lunch once or twice a week, anything like that, as well as he pulls out his $20 every weekend for garage sale, and he includes that in his allowance. And I used to budget an actual category for eBay. I need to ask him if he wants to start doing that, but he's been just using his $50 allowance for that. Okay, entertainment, like I said, is if we go do stuff with the kids. I don't even know what to put here anymore, honestly. I'm probably just gonna do $50, and that'll cover if we want to rent like a new release, which they jacked up all the prices on those. So like sometimes they're up to $20. But yeah, $50 for entertainment. I would like to take them like mini golfing or do something fun. We'll see. Okay, and then unbudgeted, I put in $100. So this covers the things you're not thinking about. And there's going to be more than $100 actually. I should put it under here. But we're going to pick up the dog. I'm going to up my unbudgeted. But luckily, we don't have daycare, so that'll help. So we're going to go up to pick up Milo. We have to buy stuff for Milo this kind of one time. His dog bed, his dog bowls, his leash. That'll be like a one-time deal, and then he'll be added into the grocery as far as food and cat food. We already have a cat, so I'll need to really do some research on that. But I'm assuming we're going to spend a couple $100 on Milo, plus we have to get to Milo, and we're going to go to my birthday weekend, which I did save, so we'll pull money out of savings for my birthday weekend because that was part of my sinking fund. But Milo was not. So I'm going to say unbudgeted is going to be $400. Okay. See, already my monthly budget is going to be shot, but that's the point. I'm really glad I'm doing both, because when I just did my weekly or my bi-weekly, I didn't get an overall picture of what it could look like. And doing a monthly, that's kind of what that's for, is to get the overall picture of what it could look like and then to kind of keep you on track. So I'm going to say that our income is budgeted to be $4,500. And then let's add up these bills.
You as you drive, do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along, and I can't help
see where
but
we're at,
feel
minus $4,500. So that leaves us $1,270 to play around with. We wanted to, our goal was to put $1,000 in savings a month and $500 towards debt a month. So I'm definitely going to do this. I'm going to go $500. Wow, like a loser. So the debt that we're going to be paying off goes here. And it's going to be our personal loan. That's the next snowball loan that we're paying towards is that. And we're going to put an extra $500 this month to that on top of the $50 payment. So $500 straight to principal. And then we're going to do, so that leaves, oops, I did something wrong. What did I say? Minus 500. Yeah, shoot. Guys, it's killing me, Smalls. Okay, hold on. Minus. Okay, so that leaves $770.65 to put towards savings, and that would be awesome. So I'm just going to write savings. $770.65. Okay, so we took my total estimated income, we took the total estimated bills, or minused it from all of the expenses, and then at the end of the paycheck, the day before I budget for our next paycheck, I'll come and I'll, you know, kind of go over this with you guys as far as what the actuals were and show you how I close out my paycheck before I start the next paycheck. But in a nutshell, this is what we're working with. And a lot of this won't carry over until into the next paycheck. It's a lot of those like unexpected. Generally, we would not spend $400 in this unbudgeted category, but because we're going to pick up Milo and we're getting a hotel, I know that this will be there. So I put that in. And of course, I did not budget that for August. But the cool thing is, for August, I budgeted my childcare, and that kind of helps offset the bills. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is my budget, and then we're going to go and finish these categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one will go here. Trying to do this one-handed so I don't lose. I'll just recount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I do this every time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one will go here. Okay, and I did leave room for 5 weeks, which will be helpful for some, you know, some months there's 5 weeks, but I just work on 4 because we have 2 paychecks. We never have 3 paychecks in a month. So that is set up. I will come back, and at the end of the first week of paycheck, I will write, oh, you guys, I'm such a goober. Why didn't you tell me? I was on the wrong page. Okay, hold on. Kind of a hot mess today. I'm trying to get all of this done before I go out of town so you guys have something to watch this weekend. So it's a few days earlier than I would normally do it. So I meant to do it on this weekly check-in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that looks better. Looks like it was meant to be there. So I will come back and I will fill in after the first week and kind of just make sure we're doing well for groceries, gas, eating out, allowance, and entertainment and unbudgeted. That's what will go here. And then I also will show you when I come back how I track that with on my transaction log and how I color code everything. But right now, we haven't got paid and we haven't started this little part yet. But I just wanted to get that set up, show you guys how I do it, and show you that a budget is not perfect. And when you start out like me, I've done this before years ago. I was very strict at the beginning of the year on it, and then things just went crazy with COVID. And not to use that as an excuse, but we just stopped. We stopped focusing on our budget and just we're in survival mode. So I need to get back to it. And it's going to take a month or 2, and that's what you need to keep in mind. It'll take a month or 2 before you can perfect it. This is going to be a hot mess for a while, your overall monthly, but really keeping track of it in your month spread and with your actual paychecks, tracking your transactions and doing weekly check-ins, that's what's going to help you kind of figure out where you need to make your adjustments. Hopefully this is helpful. I'd love to have you subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.